Hi there, my name is Suze. Thanks for being here. We're going to go deeper into the conversation of shame today, shame for women. And I love this conversation. This can be intense. How many times, if you are a woman, a feminine watching this video, how many times have you been in a space of feeling needy or being afraid to ask for something because then you would be afraid of being labeled or thought of as being needy? Or the word clingy. Has the word clingy ever come up for you as a woman? Being afraid of being perceived as clingy or not wanting to do something because you don't want someone to think you're clingy, or maybe you've had someone call you needy. Again, clearly shamey words. If you don't think that's shame, watch my previous videos on emotional manipulation and shame, but it is shame. But let's go deeper than that, right? Let's go deeper. Energetically, because that is my whole thing. My whole thing is that nothing is what it seems. And until we start going below the surface, into the less obvious things such as energy and the ethereal world, the spiritual world, until we really start going deeper into what's actually happening at an energetic level, we are never going to truly perceive what's actually happening in the physical world. And then therefore, we're never going to be able to actually create lives that feel truly emotionally fulfilling and satisfying, because emotions and energy are the same. Emotions are simply energy in motion. So we got to go deeper, and this is all feminine energy. So back to the idea of being needy or being clingy or anything that has to do with feeling of like you want attention, right? And again, I don't mean this in a negative sense. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, obviously that can be to an extreme. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about women being in romantic partnerships and feel like she's asking for too much when she's not getting enough attention, okay? And how that can bring us into a space of a lot of shame. And what I want to say really basically and simply to you today is that feminine energy is supposed to have attention. And that is the whole problem, right? If a woman is in her feminine energy and she's allowing herself to really live from a heart-spaced feminine energy space, and she loves to be in that feminine energy because it feels so good. Feminine energy at its core is magnetic. Feminine energy is being in a space of receiving. What are you receiving? Energy. What is energy? Attention. We have this saying in yoga, you may have heard it before, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So wherever someone is investing their attention, their focus on, no matter what it is, your energy is being engaged, your energy is flowing out from you towards something else. Remember that concept because it's going to come back up later in a video I'm going to do a little bit later down the road. Anytime you are investing your attention into something, you are pouring your energy into that thing. So if a woman in her feminine energy is therefore then in a space of being open, relaxed, receiving, she's going to want attention because she's waiting to receive energy. So shaming a woman for wanting attention is shaming her for being feminine. And yet, masculine energy loves when the feminine is in her soft side, right? Masculine energy does not like it when the feminine is in her destructive mode, when she is disrupting untruths in the world, when she is going into the shadows, conquering the beasts in the shadows and bringing them to the light. Masculine energy doesn't like that. But masculine energy loves when the feminine is soft. Yet at the same time, wounded masculine energy will completely shame the feminine if she wants more attention. Now let's go even a step deeper into a more triggering subject. Let's talk about sex. Women being shamed for sex. Oh boy. Now there's a subject, and I am going to go down the path of sexual liberation and unravel all of that because it needs to be brought to the light. It does. But let's think about what's actually happening in the act of sex. A woman is receiving energy and attention from the masculine. And yet we're shaming her. Let's go even a step deeper. Feminine energy is all about pleasure. Masculine energy is not. Masculine energy doesn't, strict, pure masculine energy has nothing to do with pleasure. It is the feminine aspect that has all to do with pleasure. Is not sex pleasure? So then why wouldn't a feminine want it? And if you are a feminine who struggles with sex, there's a level of emotional availability that's at the core that's the problem. And I'm not going to get into that in this video. So my intention is not to make you think that something is wrong with you if you are disconnected from the sexual aspect of yourself and you do not find a lot of joy and pleasure or desire in that part of you. It simply means you haven't connected deeply enough with your feminine, which does require you to have some safety in order to go there. So there is some safety and some work there that needs to be done for you to allow yourself to open yourself up to finding the pleasure and the desire and all of that that's wrapped up around the sexual issues. And it's a feminine who is disconnected in some way from her body, disconnected from her heart space, and disconnected from her emotions. When the feminine is truly in her feminine and loving the feminine and open in the feminine, relaxed in the feminine, she wants pleasure. So it's time we stop shaming women on this subject. And it's time we stop saying that someone has low self-worth around that subject. I will get more into that later. Because looking at someone and saying they have low self-worth, again, is not looking at the energetics of what's happening with that person. And it's completely denying the truth that that person has had their own life experience that has shaped their sense of values and belief systems. So it's not necessarily about self-worth. It could be. But we can't just look at something from the surface level without going deeper and simply label it. That kind of brings me back to the first video I did about emotional manipulation and shame. That is emotional manipulation and shame. If you're not actually sitting down at a table and talking with someone and understanding why they're doing or showing up in the way that they are, and you're not actually being intimate with them in conversation and with emotional availability, and you're simply looking at them from the outside and saying that person has low self-worth, how do you know? Have you actually sat down at the table and spoken with them? But you're only doing it because there's something there that's threatening you. And again, this is probably subconscious. There's something there that's scaring you. There's something there that you're worried about, that you're sensing as some kind of a danger or unpredictable or unsafe or something wrong. So your mind tends to shame because then it can go in that nice little box that I talked about. You can then take that person and put them in the box with a nice little label, and then you feel okay about yourself and you feel safe. I'm not going to go any deeper on this conversation. By the way, I just looked up at my timer. It said 911. I said this in my last video and I'll say it again here too. Someone wise once told me this, and I'm probably going to be saying this a lot because I love it and I know that more divine feminines out there need to hear this. Someone wise once told me, the thing that you should be speaking about and the thing that you were put here and meant to heal, the thing that you were meant to be speaking about from the soul place is the thing that you see out in the world that you perceive as unjust and makes you angry. Because that's the thing that needs change. So I am speaking about it. If you found value and you helped in this video helped you, please do subscribe to support my channel and help get this message out to other people. Please let me know in the comments too what you appreciated about this video, how it resonated for you. I will be going deeper into this conversation as time unravels. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your day.